Imagine an animal so cunning it could outsmart you, so wild it can't be tamed, and so mysterious that scientists are still baffled. Now, picture that animal prowling the vast Australian outback. Yes, we're talking about the dingo. Australia's native wild dog, and one of nature's true enigmas. But here's the thing. What if I told you that the dingo isn't just a wild dog? That it might actually be something more ancient, with links that stretch way beyond Australia's shores. Stick around, because we're digging up secrets about dingoes that could rewrite the way we think about these notorious wild wanderers. Dingoes didn't just walk into Australia one day. They practically strutted in like they owned the place. According to the latest research, they arrived around 4,000 years ago. But here's the kicker. They didn't swim or cross some hidden land bridge. They were likely brought over by early humans from Southeast Asia. Yep, these furry nomads hitched a ride and became an unexpected chapter in the history of Australia's wildlife. But what makes a dingo? Well, a dingo. Let's start with the basics. Dingoes have an almost magical ability to adapt. Their sandy coat, their lean and athletic build, even their sharp, fox-like face, all scream ultimate survival machine. While they look somewhat like your average stray dog, they're anything but. For one, they don't bark. Not like domestic dogs anyway. Instead, they communicate with eerie howls, which can make the outback feel like a scene from a horror movie if you hear it at night. Dingoes have a legendary skill set that puts even the best dog trainers to shame. They're escape artists, capable of figuring out how to unlock cages, scale fences, and dig under barriers with the determination of a bulldozer. In fact, it's said that a dingo can chew its way through almost anything short of metal. Why? Because they're masters of survival, and frankly, they just don't like being told where to go. And when it comes to food, dingoes are not picky eaters. They're culinary opportunists. These guys will munch on anything from small mammals, like rabbits, to birds, reptiles, and even the occasional kangaroo. If it's moving and they can catch it, it's on the menu. But if times are tough, dingoes can shift to a whatever's around diet, gobbling up insects, plants, and even fruits. In the food world, they're basically the ultimate free spirits, able to adapt to whatever's in their environment. Now, let's get into dingo family life. Forget the stereotype of the lone wolf. Dingoes are social creatures with complex pack structures. They usually travel in packs of up to 10 members. They share parenting duties, they help out with the hunting, and each pack member is valued for their role. But before you go thinking dingoes are all rainbows and teamwork, they've got a dark side. Dingoes are ferociously territorial. They've been known to defend their land with a tenacity that rivals the fiercest predators. And if a rival dingo pack steps into their territory, let's just say it rarely ends with a friendly hello. It's more like a showdown in the outback, with intense howling, snarling, and sometimes even deadly battles. The Australian wilderness may be big, but a dingo's territory is fiercely guarded. Now, if you're wondering why dingoes haven't just blended in with domestic dogs after thousands of years, well, they're surprisingly picky about their genetic purity. Dingoes actually resist breeding with domestic dogs in the wild, and when they do, it's often due to environmental pressures or scarcity of purebred mates. And yes, hybrids exist, called dingo dog crosses. But purebred dingoes have somehow managed to hold on to their ancient genetic code for centuries. This loyalty to their own kind has led scientists to uncover some pretty wild facts. For instance, dingoes have unique skull structures that set them apart from both domestic dogs and wolves. Their skulls are larger, their jaw strength is higher, and their teeth sharper. Imagine a dingo bite as nature's own Swiss Army knife, sharp, multifunctional, and capable of taking down a variety of prey. And don't even get me started on the Dingo Fence. Yes, Australia literally built a fence to keep these crafty creatures out. stretching over 5,600 kilometers, longer than the Great Wall of China. The Dingo Fence was created to protect livestock in southern Australia. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of slowing down, dingoes actually adapted to life around the fence. They developed new hunting strategies and began to exploit areas on both sides. Talk about adaptability. Despite their incredible resilience, dingoes face some serious threats. They're hunted, trapped, and sometimes poisoned, all in an effort to protect livestock. Farmers see them as a menace, a threat to their livelihoods. And yet, ecologists argue that dingoes play a critical role in Australia's ecosystem. By preying on invasive species like rabbits and feral cats, they help maintain balance in the wild. In areas where dingo populations have dwindled, invasive species often spiral out of control, leading to ecological chaos. In short, dingoes may be misunderstood heroes of the outback. They're not just scavengers or pests, they're apex predators with a unique place in the Australian ecosystem. Without them, smaller predators like foxes and cats could cause even more havoc on native wildlife. Some scientists even believe that the dingo could be the key to restoring damaged ecosystems across Australia. But are these wild dogs truly at risk? Some argue that dingo populations are stable, while others warn of their extinction due to hybridization with domestic dogs and the ongoing threat from humans. Conservationists are working tirelessly to protect them, not just for the sake of the species, but because dingoes hold a unique cultural significance. Indigenous Australians regard dingoes as spiritual creatures, protectors and guardians of the land. Now here's a thought. If we lose the dingo, Australia would lose more than just an animal. It would lose a part of its identity, a symbol of wild freedom and adaptability. Dingoes are more than just wild dogs. They're a testament to survival, resilience, and, yes, mystery. So, whether you think they're cunning pests or ecological superheroes, one thing's clear. Dingoes aren't going anywhere without a fight. And maybe that's what makes them so fascinating. The Australian dingo remains one of nature's greatest secrets, adaptable, untamable, and as wild as the land they call home.